Hello. This is RSC Blake's, and of course it's late. Present in Indianapolis, Indiana, and I think it's maybe 1 o'clock in the morning, something like that here. But this book is written to a generation of women that I consider to be sleeping queens. Um, as a classical Renaissance man, I consider all women queens. Most are just unaware. They need an awakening. And so I believe that the Lord has me to write stuff like this and to develop messages and music that goes along with this. Michelle, good to see you, sweetheart. To awaken this generation of women. And it's not, though there's a black girl's face on this book, this message is for all ethnicities. It's for black, white, Asian, whatever. And all have embraced the message. All women are queens. Most are just unaware. And I believe that most are unaware because there is a certain system that should be in place for a woman to come conscious of who she is, what her potential is, and what her standards should be. And the first stopping point for that woman to come into that dimension of consciousness is her relationship with her father. I was talking to a beautiful young sister today, extremely professional, loves God, saved, spiritual, and all of that, but needed my counsel on some things relative to life, men, and relationships. Because there are some things that a woman should not learn through experience. She should learn through the safe instruction of fathers or father figures. And so women today are devoid of an understanding of who they are, their queendom, if you would, because no one's really sat them down to inform them. No one's really sat them down to cement their particular identity in place. And then we have compiling that lack of understanding. I don't want to call it ignorance, but that really is what it is. It's ignorance due to the fact that our fathers have not really done their roles. But we have compounding that is a generation of men, young men, and even older men who were not fathered. The father wound moves from the female spectrum, even it swings to the male spectrum or to the male side. And because the young men have not been fathered, they don't know how to honor the young woman. They don't know how to treat the young woman. They don't understand that their role is to build the young woman. So now we have a generation of men that tear the woman down. And this does what? It further subjugates her self-concept. It imprisons her capacity to see herself as anything other than a sex object, a baby machine, hopefully a earner, something like that. Because the men in their lives, it starts with the father not being present. Either he's absent physically or he's absent emotionally. And then it moves to making poor relational choices because the impartation of the father was never received by her. And so now she makes horrible choices for men who simply use her lack of understanding to abuse her. And so now you have angry men that call this generation of women out of their names, use all kinds of vulgarity. I see it even here on my own channel where guys don't like the fact that I spend so much time building women and pouring into women. And so they go off on this childish rant about a woman is a blankety blank and all women are blankety blanks. And I'm like, do you not understand that your mother is a woman? Do you not understand that your sisters are women? Do you plan on not ever having any kind of significant relationship with a woman? So all of this stuff plays into the woman's inability to see herself as queen. And then you take and you put on top of that, you take and you put on top of that the lack of the father, the ignorance of the generation of men that she's dealing with, and then you have the women counseling one another. And when you have a room filled with women who are all toxic in terms of their own self-concept, they simply infect each other. When you have women who don't believe that women can rise but to a certain level, women can only do certain things, they have a tendency to infect one another with that level of thinking. So in a lot of instances, the driving force of a woman's broken self-concept is being fueled by women themselves. And so now we have these sleeping queens who don't have an idea that the throne on the other side of the room is actually for her, because her father never taught her. Her mother was too inept to teach her. The men she chose broke her, and the women she's hanging out with are as deficient as she is, so it's the blind leading the blind. And so then God raises up a message and a crazy man that goes against the grain and even breaks a lot of the so-called religious rules, because religion, I'm not talking about the kingdom of God or the Bible, but religion does not support a man that empowers women. Religion is intended to subjugate and humiliate and drain the woman of her resources, while the men in religion take credit for it. Religion is not about raising women to queen consciousness, but the Lord has given me a mandate. And you are a queen. You've just been asleep. You've been unconscious. You're an unconscious queen. And so now what I'm endeavoring to do is to wake you up and to show you that the crown on the other side of the room is designed for your head, and that the throne over here in this palace is actually your throne. And yes, in fact, this is your palace. You're a queen. And when you understand that you're a queen, it is then that you stop sleeping with every man that shows some physical interest in you, and you will begin to wait for your husband. When you understand that you're a queen, it is then that you will stop running through the malls and spending all of your money on things to make you look good. I call it mascara therapy, where you're trying to paint away the pain, and you'll begin to really develop a strong financial strategy and plan like queens do, and you'll build a financial future. When you understand that you're a queen, all of this is in the book, you begin to divorce yourself from insecurity and negativity. You won't have time for pettiness anymore, because queens and insecurity, those two things cannot coexist. You won't engage in pettiness anymore. When I get you to understand that you're a queen, you're then going to change your circle, because queens carry royal circles. All I need to do is to wake you up and get you to the place where you understand that you are queen. When I get you to understand that you're a queen, you're then going to take authority over your emotions, and you will not wear your emotions on your sleeve, because how can you rule a kingdom and have no control over your emotions? They should not be able to read what's going on in your mind by watching your facial expressions or your body posture, because queens they manage their emotions. When I get you to understand that you're a queen, you then begin to make men your study. You learn the tendencies of men. You learn the ways of men. Why? Not so as to manipulate men, but so as to not be manipulated. To be able to see what a man is planning and plotting long before he even gets a chance to execute it. When I get you to understand that you're a queen, you will begin to then exude presence, and understanding that presence is not about what you wear. Presence is about who you are. It's not what's on the outside, it's what's emanating from the inside. When queens enter a room, their presence remains long after they leave. When I get you to understand that you're a queen, it is then that you're going to have an ear to hear. Only kings, clowns with crowns will not be able to entertain you. So I just need to awaken your queen consciousness. And I'm sitting here, I'm really a little tired, but I'm sitting here and thinking about it. I'm on my way to Los Angeles, November the 2nd, for a meeting there, Queenology meeting at the Answer City Church on November the 2nd, and I invite you to be there. If you haven't gotten my book yet, Queenology, or the Father-Daughter Talk, which is the first book, go to my website, rcblakes.com. Pick it up. It'll bless your life. It will bless your life. Let me read the back of it. This is the back of it. I put my cool pose on there. I put my all white on, and I was posing real cool. It says, every woman is born a queen. Most women have not been told. The term queenology speaks of the study of queens. It is another conversation that fathers should have with daughters relative to who they are and the true power they possess. Queenology is written to the queen inside of every woman. For every woman is a queen. Most are just unconscious. That's it there. Every woman is a queen. Most are just unconscious. R.C. Blakes has intentionally created this document to awaken the unconscious queen and to empower those who are presently cognizant. When a woman absorbs the principles of this book, her self-perspective, her worldview, and her future outlook will all undergo an amazing metamorphosis. The queen within will begin to emerge. That's Queenology, y'all. So I got a lot of meetings coming up. I'd love for you to go to my website if you're anywhere around Fort Lauderdale, Atlanta, Baltimore, Newark, New Jersey. Go to my websites and register for the 2018 Queenology experience, starting off in Fort Lauderdale in February, Atlanta, March, Baltimore, April, and New Jersey in May. You can go there and register now. The venues are holding like 300 people, so it's not a lot of seats. I'd love to have you there. We're coming with the Queenology tour. Dave Hollister, who's written the Queenology theme song entitled She, is going to be released next year, but he'll be at a lot of those spots, if not all of them, with me singing and helping me to empower the sisters that will be present. Love to have you there. But just know, man, you are queen. There are no two ways about it. You are queen. Pay no attention to fools that might try to tell you otherwise. You are queen. I'm not just sitting up here at 1 o'clock in the morning needing my hair combed and my beard combed and in this thing, people looking at me from all over the world. I'm here because there's purpose. After I watched one video that I stumbled upon, I can't help but watch his videos. I missed the rest of it. I love you guys. I thank you. Hey, you are queen. Go and get my book. I need y'all to buy my book. rcblakes.com. If you're going to meet me in Los Angeles, buy the book, and I'll sign it when I get there. I'll have books with me, though, but if you get it, I'll sign it when I get there. I love you. I want you to know something about the message that I'm going to be bringing. All right? Have a great night. Know that you're loved. Know that there's a brother that loves you unconditionally for teaching us so many things that most of us, which our fathers would have sat us down and taught us. This is why I'm here. This is why I'm here. This is exactly why I wrote the Father-Daughter Talk. This is why I've written Queenology. This is why I've written Soul Ties, Breaking the Ties That Bind. And this is why I've written Wisdom for Women in Ministry. Love you, Pastor. Thank you. I love you. God bless you all. Have a great one now. I just wanted to say that to you. Have a great night.